your input comes, and I'm sure it will come. So let me share my screen. Yes, can you see? No. Mhm. Okay. The sharing is not coming. What is it? Are you able to see? Hello? Yes, please. Are you able to see the presentation? Yes, please. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello, participants, please. Hello? Yes, I'm going to talk to you on student diversity, inclusion, and equity. Well, friends, Mahatma Gandhi says our ability to reach unity in diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization. This is such a statement which describes India, our society, very well. Meaning that you see, our diversity is our greatest strength. We know whether it is languages, it is social, it is cultural. You imagine any type of diversity that exists in India. So actually, our strength is diversity, and unity also lies in diversity. That means our diversity itself is so rich and so inclusive that it itself leads to diversity, unity. India's, of course, commitment to Goal 4 of Sustainable Development Goal 2030, adopted by India, stresses inclusive and equitable quality education. So now when you talk about diversity, naturally another question will be that why diversity? Why talk about diversity? The one of the reason is that we want to include all sections, whole diversity into the mainstream of education, mainstream of sustainable development in a way. And that we promised, we have committed ourselves that by 2030, we will promote this lifelong learning opportunities for all. That means inclusive of education. If we have a look at NEP 2020, it visualizes education that our whole education system is rooted in Indian ethos. And that Indian ethos, actually, we have not been able to utilize. But now educational policy states that we can utilize our Indian ethos, our Indian culture, Indian philosophy, so that India becomes a vibrant knowledge society, providing quality education to all, and turning into India into global knowledge superpower. So not only economic power, but also knowledge super power. That what policy 2020 talks about. Now that is a policy, but how it is to be implemented, with what spirit? Since independence, we have been talking about diversity. What has happened with diversity, the management of diversity? First thing is proper understanding of diversity, acceptance of the underlying principle of diversity. To me, diversity is something which makes it very enjoyable. You see, we are living in the society which may be described as a mass production society. Similar type of things, similar types of shirts, similar types of material things. No one gets really bored. अगर एक ही तरह के रेस्टोरेंट हैं, एक ही तरह का खाना है, एक ही तरह की चीजें हर जगह हैं. Now, what is the variety? Many times, people living in a very luxurious houses, in many luxuries, they come out and say, okay, we want adventure, we want trekking, we want to go out to the nature. What for? You see, diversity is enjoyable. And the happiness, or the, you can say, the outcome of diversity, if managed well, this is living effectively amidst diversity. If we can live effectively, that means knowing diversity, understanding diversity, promoting diversity, promoting and utilizing it. So diversity is something which we must understand, that it is not something which is negative. It is not something which is, bad. But definitely the question or the challenge before us comes now. NEP 2020, which is yet to be implemented in the true spirit, About a number of places, it talks about diversity. It emphasizes that there has to be equity and inclusion as the basic principle of the education system. Equity and the inclusion. So providing equal chances to everyone for education, including those who have never been or they have been for years deprived of education, must be included. This is one. Second is, it proposes to provide quality education to all students. All students, with a focus primarily on marginalized, disadvantaged, and unrepresented groups. No, there are many groups or sections of the society which have been deprived for a number of years, number of centuries, you can say, not years. Many are at the disadvantaged situation because of economic or social backwardness, and many not represented. Therefore, now the policy emphasizes that all students, whatever are the problems, must be provided opportunities to enter higher education. Not only enter, but excel. That means encouraging them, motivating them to be active learners. Now, what are the diversity related certain fundamental principles which have been talked in NEP? That as I told you, that it is the diversity because of which now education policy states that now we have to recognize, identify, and foster the unique capabilities of each student. Here we must understand that every individual, every student for that matter, is having unique learning style, learning capability. So, the system must be sensitized to the requirements of these different categories of students. And the focus is holistic development of their personality. Flexibility. Depending upon the talents, depending upon the intellect, interests, the students must be provided opportunity, flexibility. They choose the program of their choice. If one doesn't have interest in particular subject or area of learning, will not be able to excel. And very important thing which opening I said, respect the diversity. Respect for the local context in all curriculum, pedagogy and policy. Now, very important thing that you see, we have a global perspective, but we must respect the local diversity, local conditions, local context. Well, it cannot be just put under certain principles or methods that this is diversity. As I told you that any type, any number of diversities are there. But the most important diversity becomes in the local context. So education system, sometimes we have some standardized guidelines at all India level. Most of the time, like UGC also talks about a standardized curriculum. But is that good for proper higher education system? Many things are relating to our locality, but they are not being included. So here, the emphasis is that keep the local context in view and incorporate in the curriculum the diversity related issues. Because focus is equity and inclusion, providing every student opportunity for learning. So here, well, that remains a question mark, that remains a challenge for the management of education institutions. A rootedness and pride in India. Now, again, the same point which where I started, that well, India, because it is rich, its heritage is rich, it has a lot of diversity, and also the modernity, you can say, modern systems and traditions. So in view of these all perspectives, that India with such a diversity and a challenge to the higher education, now let us try to understand, after all, what is student diversity in higher education? Now, any one of you who would like to, now whatever I have talked about, any one of you who would like to intervene, you are welcome. Okay, I don't know you whether you have got a mic access or not. If you have got mic access, I think that will be very good so that we can interact, have your views also, so that the session becomes not a burden. Yes, any one of you? Up till now, whatever we have discussed, if you have any question or any comment. Hello? I understand all of you are muted. Eh? Is it okay? Difficult.
Sir, I have unmuted them.
Achha,
They can
okay,
unmute now.
okay, thank you. Because because
Because usually disturbance is there, no? So we
I
restrict.
know that's
Yeah.
why I was saying that if unmute, then some of them, if they participate, that will be good. Yes, friends. Now, any one of you, up till now, what I talked about diversity, anything your experience or your comments, suggestion, any one of you?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Dr. Ganesh, yeah, please.
Yes, sir. As far as this diversity is concerned, it's related to gender related, then socio-economical background, because if you are from rich background, if you are from poor background, then
Hmm.
disability related thing, then we can simply say socio-economical is one of the aspect of diversity.
Hmm.
Then I think racial and ethnicity related diversity is also there, sir. Correct if I'm wrong, sir.
Okay, no, you're right.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah, Anita, yes.
We see the cultural diversity and language diversity in our classes because because of the students are roaming from one state to another state or one country to another country and with continent also. Because of that, we observe the cultural diversity in our classroom. Thank you, sir.
Nice, nice. So when we are talking about students' diversity in classroom, now students coming from different backgrounds, you rightly said, different socially, economically disadvantaged groups like SC, STs, OBC, women, just one. The richness in diversity in terms of economic, class, caste, ethnicity, religion, race, gender, linguistic, parents. Now that is the first generation learners. So particularly in India, this is greatest challenge because many students come from the first generation learners. Non-elite and non-traditional social groups, social and income group learners. So similarly, social exclusion, denial of equal opportunity. In our culture, because India has a very long history. So again, there has been social gap, certain groups not getting, what to talk about priority, not getting opportunity to have education, diversity in academic. In academics also, now some people are bright, some people are slow. So that is another challenge in education. Now next question which comes, what are the measures for improving diversity? Now when I'm talking about improving diversity, then I mean utilization or managing diversity. And there are different ways, of course, through which we can utilize diversity. We can improve, because as I told you, the word like enhancing the diversity, celebrating the diversity, enjoying the diversity, utilizing the diversity. Now, these are different terms, but main focus is that diversity should be managed in such a manner that overall impact leads to unity. That's what Mahatma Gandhi talked about. Leads to oneness. United India, as we talk in political terms also. So what are the measures? Measures like policy implementation, that whatever is the policies and different policies are there for inclusion, they must be implemented. Financial support. Then if you're talking about inclusive education, those do not have means, do not have resources to pursue their higher education, we must be given financial support. Inclusive curriculum. The curriculum should be such that all types of learners, they are taken care of. Now, if the curriculum is too simple, then the advanced learners will not get any challenging learning. On the other hand, if the curriculum is so simple, so hard, so complicated, it will become difficult for the slow learners to cope up the stress of learning. Financial support. So if you really want to include uncovered sections, then naturally, maybe you require more inputs in terms of human being or in terms of money or resources. That is why financial support is very important for improving diversity. Then research-based engagement. That it's not a theory, but based on the research. Holistic admissions. So admissions should be all inclusive. And then, of course, addressing discrimination. Addressing discrimination. So now, because of diversity, sometimes based on caste or religion or based on region, there may develop certain problems, or people from the other categories, they are ignored by the majority. Challenges. Now, what is the main challenge in our classroom or in the higher education institutions about the diversity? Dr. Anita, what challenge you foresee? जैसे एक चैलेंज मैंने लिख ही दिया, elite to massification, क्योंकि अभी education is privilege of certain category of people, those who have money, those who have generations who have got higher education, or those who are dominating a higher education system. Well, only they are getting that quality education. So it must be taken to the massification so that all people have opportunity, that flexibility exists. So that is one major challenge which we are facing in our society. Yes, then next is increasing diversity. So now diversity, do you think it is reducing? It is not reducing, it is increasing. Only the shapes, sometimes a category of diversity somehow to a certain extent has become diluted or overlapping, or maybe less emphasis. But ultimately, diversity is increasing. And that is both challenge as well as opportunity. Classroom learning. The greatest challenge is to the teachers in the classroom. Are they able to manage the diversity in the classroom? Teaching pedagogy. There is a diversity in the teaching pedagogy. Some teachers utilizing A technique or B technique, but ultimate purpose is experiential, holistic, integrated, discovery-oriented, learner-centered, discussion-based, finally, enjoyable. So outcome of the diversity, getting to diversity must result in enjoyment. It should be enjoyable. Low equitable academic outcomes. Social densification, associated practices, prejudices, and biases. Meaning thereby that because the outcome is not equitable, So number of prejudices, they arise. Critical point is that children not only learn, but importantly, learn how to learn. So this is another aspect, that they are also learning how to learn. Although we are not consciously teaching them how to learn, but they do learn how to learn. Active participation of students. So that is a challenge in the classroom as well as in the education institution, that students must be made active participants because they come from different background. Everyone must be treated with respect and honor. Academic integration. Integrate with academic core. That is important in the sense they ultimately, it is also a challenge about the academics, the curriculum, the designing of curriculum, what should be included or not. You must have seen, lot of controversy, history, bad history or new history, or maybe, rewritten or write again because history has not been properly projected. So anyhow, it's important to have academic integration of the diversity, promoting inclusiveness in access to higher education, promoting inclusiveness. As I told you that those who didn't get opportunity to be in education, now they must be encouraged and must be included in the mainstream. Necessary for disrupting the transition of economic to the next generation and reducing social inequalities. So this is important. Inclusiveness is important because with this, the transformation of knowledge from one generation to another will be required, and reducing the social inequality. The notion of equity in higher education leads to raising equality. I think that is self-explanatory. Sensitization of administration and faculty. I think the greatest challenge, because we ourselves are biased. If not biased, that's very good. But I told you, most of us, that we are biased towards our A category of diversity or B category or C category. Sometimes, because we are Brahmins, or sometimes we are Kshatriyas, or sometimes we come from the region 1, others says I come from region 2. So this way, diversity, people should know and be sensitive, and administration and faculty both. But they should have a positive outlook towards diversity, only then I think they can manage it properly. Another dimension of diversity is technology. Technology and diversity. How technology related with the diversity? Can anyone express views? Technology and diversity. But technology has to do with the diversity. Yes, please, anyone?
Yes, sir. It could so happen that everybody is not tech savvy and not updated with the current developments in the technological fields.
How technology and diversity is related? Because mostly we talk about cultural or social, economic diversity. Technology is not neutral also. Technology is supposed to be neutral. But is it technology neutral or it also has some connotation like the society we have?
Good afternoon, sir. There is a biasness in the technology also, sir.
Can you give me some example?
For example, sir, the recent Google uh, AI model which was generated, and if we type over there, the AI itself was having a flaw in that one, sir.
Hmm.
Like access of the technology, including of the designing, biasness in the AI,
Hmm.
then online education. For example, they asked the presidents of former presidents of America, and all pictures came over there were not white people, sir. And because of that one, the Gemini itself was needed update, and update was being done. Then afterwards, representation in media also, sir. Supportive community and ethical consideration also. There is a diversification.
Hmm.
So I think the technology is also having too much diversity and diversification. For example, sorry to say, but I'm making very bold statement. But for Asia and all, the points are not being raised in the
Hmm.
media also. But for European and all, the points are raised too much prominently, as if problem of Europe is becoming problem of the world. But problem of the world is not Europe's problem, like this, sir. So that diversity is also there, sir. Correct
Hmm.
if I'm wrong, sir.
No, you are right. You are right. But as such, if you see, no, technology as such should not be biased. But the way, like this point, enhancing accessibility. For example, many people do not have access to technology. So we are not able to manage diversity caused by technology. Now, for example, virtual learning. Virtual learning. So those who are exposed to technology or its use will be comfortable, but others will not. One problem which uh, my dear friend he was talking about, because if the person who is designing the technology or applying the technology, if he has biasness, then technology will definitely be biased. That's why I said technology is a neutral for that matter. Now, our challenge for higher education management as well as teachers is facilitating inclusive learning. So online platform or learning management system can be designed. Why? So that the learning style of the individual students, they are taken care of. You see, all students do not learn in similar way. Some people learn more by way of abstract concepts, others maybe by experimentation, third maybe by practice, action. So well, different ways. So we have the challenge to facilitate now this inclusive learning, that people have the opportunity to enter higher education, supporting data-driven decisions, using data analytics and evaluate diversity initiatives. So now data analytics, etc., they are being taught even from sixth onward. But that doesn't mean that this is a final word. Encouraging collaboration. Now, technology can help us to encourage gaps, many misunderstandings can be taken care of by the technology, because technology will tell the truth or will be more factual. Facilitating inclusive learning, and then supporting data-driven, we talked, encouraging collaboration, promoting pro-diversity initiatives. Pro-diversity initiatives must be promoted, so that you see your campus looks to be like a garden. Now, garden has a peculiar characteristic. Garden is having a variety of plants. Some are with thorns, some are big, some small, different colors of the leaves. And the nature, when we talk about nature, nature means diversity and variety of flowers, and even the fragrance is different. So friends, pro-diversity initiatives, that well, now this my garden contains this type of flowers, that makes it garden. Otherwise, if similar type of flowers are there, it's not enjoyable proposition. Now, I think we can spend some time. Let us, as a teacher, as far as NEP is concerned, they have said that, well, this type of diversity is existing and we have to take proactive actions. Let us look at the present day generation. Let us look at the present day generation, which is known as Z generation. People who were born after 1994. Okay. They have a different view about diversity. They talk about the diversity of their time. Today's students will talk about diversity of today's time. But how are these generations? What is the peculiar characteristic of the present day students? I think if we understand that many things will be in the pipeline. So this generation is known as Z generation, Z-E-E, Z. Because from this generation, we have a different expectation, and that is of a different category. And normally, because there are a number of studies, surveys talking about diversity and the generations. So Z generation, it is believed that it started after 1994 and is continuing up to 2010. Now, what is actually your view about this diversity? In terms of students, ये जो Z generation है हमारी, इसको Z generation क्यों कहते हैं, ये बात अलग है. Because they have tried to describe on the basis of characteristics, put in different categorization of the all generations. So this generation which is born after 1994, now I think all your students are born before after 1994. So they all belong to Z generation. So what are the peculiar characteristics? Can you, what is your view about your students? Yes. I will expect something from your side. How do you describe your students? आज का जो हमारा स्टूडेंट है कैसा है, उसका पढ़ने का सीखने का क्या स्टाइल है?
मैं talk sir?
हाँ प्लीज प्लीज।
Actually, today's generation, so-called Z generation, I'm thinking the students are mainly like instant noodles. They do not have concentration mechanism. They want real like videos, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, so that they can concentrate that much. For concentrating for 3 to 4 hours for sessions and all, so the concentration and focus is very less. Even mental health and all these things are also very important aspect, because this health awareness and all, they're making a big impact as far as today's generation is concerned. And that's all, sir, from my side. I think these are the points I observed.
No, very good point you have made, that everything is instant coffee, instant learning, instant solution to everything. That's one peculiar characteristic. Yes, please. Next. What is your views about your students? Because that will, of course, will be something relating to the diversity view. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please, Shishir. Yes.
In my opinion, they are very practical and less of emotional. And
Yes.
as far as their education is concerned, it's like any other service. Now, that concept of Guru Shishya is not there. It's very simple. You go to a place and that place offers you a service. You pay for it, you take the service. So, similarly, education has also become like that. They are paying the fees, so they offer, they feel that they should get the relevant service. It's similar to going to a restaurant, ordering for food and having food and coming back and paying for the service. Similar kind of no attachment, no feelings. It's plain and simple, like a business deal. That kind of approach is there. That's what I feel. So.
Great. Yes. Is something more?
No, nothing, sir. This is just a point of view. We used to think that we are going to the college or a school, so we have teachers. Teachers are doing us a favor when they're teaching us. Concept is not there existing in for the younger generation, not only in the college, but it's everywhere. They feel that they're paying for a service. Teachers are part the service providers. They're providing a service. That's all the relation. There is no emotional attachment or so-called relationship or mentoring or any such things. It's just adhering to a service. That's what I feel, sir. Nothing much.
So it is a dry relationship. लेन देन का है, that we pay fee, and many education institutions are charging very hefty fees. So we pay fee and we get education. Similarly, teacher thinks that I go to the class, I teach, I get remuneration for that. And beyond that, no extra. Okay. Good. Now, one thing about this generation is that they are technologically advanced. See, if I don't understand anything about even my mobile, I will talk to youngsters, not the elderly. Because youngsters know much, they are much faster. So from the birth itself, I think they are born in the amidst the digital devices. And according to one study, internet use 10 hours, is the use. They are better connected, open-minded and collaborative. open-minded and collaborative. Now, this new generation, they are more open-minded and more collaborative. What I find in my generation, we were very secretive because competition उस वक्त भी था, अभी भी है. But at that time, we were secretive because we knew that if the secret is out, you are out. But this generation is much open-minded. Say, okay, doesn't matter. I know it. I pass on to you. Whatever you know, you pass on to 10 people. So they are free-spirited generation, independent, self-confident, and autonomous. All students, they feel independent. They like independence and are self-confident and autonomous. You see, I think earlier generation learners will get more disturbed by some negative events, but this generation feels more confident or more autonomous to take decision and, of course, independence. Value multitasking and technical work. They value multitasking. Most of the students in your classroom, they believe in multitasking, doing more than 2 things at a time, and technical work. So naturally, with this diversity, teacher has a challenge, or they had a challenge. Not very religious, don't accept and at face value. Okay, somewhere. Sorry. Now you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I lost. Yeah, not very religious. So that I think you must have seen the change. They are religious during its examination time, of course, because during examination time there is a long queue in front of Hanuman temple or Ganesh temple or Peer Dargah. But these all, they are not very, they say that this is wastage of time, the world is much advanced. Strong focus on mobility, travel, career, personal ambitions. You see a lot of youngsters now going for adventures, games, and enjoying, of course, mobility, traveling, etc. Truthful, fact-based, logical. Now, these 3 words may hit all of us. Are they really truthful? Are they really fact-based or logical? I find them to a greater extent. They're very truthful. They may tell you, कि sir, इसका फायदा क्या है? Whatever we are learning, will it be useful or not? So they are more pragmatic as compared to earlier generations. They would like to have facts that how it is, prove it. And same is the case with being a logical. Z generation, now these all terms which I am using and I am presenting you, these are not mine. Of course, this is based on number of surveys. Year-to-year surveys are being conducted on new generation. The reason is, who is conducting these surveys? They are being conducted by businessmen. Because they find that the majority of population in India is youth. So their opinion, their understanding, their bent of mind will fetch them a big market. Entrepreneurial, multitasking, digitally native and pragmatic. So as I told you that they're more practical oriented. Yes, of course, any question if you have, I think we can spend some time.
So can you just please replay that last slide? I just wanted to.
Because many times, whenever I discuss this
Thank you,
topic,
sir.
many times what I find that people say that, see, their attention span is very less. I don't know, do you agree or not? Attention in the class. Many times you feel they are not in the class.
Yes, sir. I agree on this particular point of yours that they are continuously busy. So due to that, due to the multitasking, I believe they can't focus on one particular aspects.
So what is the solution? Because why I have taken this issue, particularly focusing on the new generation, because NEP is still vaguely talking about it, that, this is the diversity we have to manage. But the main question which bothers me, and I think it must be bothering you also, really how to manage it. Now, as a teacher, because as a policymaker, things are different. At the policy level, you say that, okay, all must be given opportunity, so give them a reservation, give certain positions for them, or include them, help them in providing opportunity for learning. But when it comes to class, then the only teacher faces. It comes to the management of college, then the principal faces. So these are the practical things which we have to, because the policy as such gives us guidelines. But as teachers, we must think about that in the classroom you have variety of people. Now, different categories of students are there in terms of their academic inclinations. Like you can say the participant who is advanced learner, a student who is a slow learner. Some are very bright. You have 95.6% score. But on the other hand, you have 40% or 35% score student also. How to bring them at one platform? Isn't it a challenge? One is a first generation learner who has intelligence, but he is not able to cope up. Correct? So how to manage it? Even, the curriculum which we design. I don't know whether students are telling or not. That, sir, whatever you are teaching, it doesn't interest me. And I don't think it will be useful in the career also. Many of my students, when I ask them, whatever you learned in your management class, now how much you are able to put it into practice? And what many of them say, can you tell me? They say, sir, no use, all theoretical. And many times, sir, you have taught, which we already knew. And what you taught was not factual. It was your opinion, it's not a fact. So now, because they know, they have the data with them, Google Baba is always ready to help them. They have more access to the information. Rather, access of information. Any topic, any area, bombardment of information everywhere coming the information. So today's student, we must appreciate. They are really under pressure. Overburden of information. That's the greatest challenge. In our times, we didn't have much information. Whatever was, that was in the books. And books were limited. So limited information, limited education. I think this has worked very well. But today, they have a lot of information, which is relevant one. I think that is a great challenge. That is why student, you may say that student is confused. But he is under stress and the strain. Am I right? Yes? Anyone? Any question? Yes, please. Any teacher would like to say something? Whatever I've said, or you feel, there's some other view. In fact, I presented before you more challenges, more problems, describing the situation. But where is the solution? How to manage diversity in the classroom? Of course, few things I did discuss with you. What type of teaching will really be helpful in a diverse class? Yes, anyone, please? Yes? You see, when I talk to you on different challenges, you see, every challenge must be supported by solution, and that solution lies in number one, that we understand our students. As I told you that because of diversity, even many other characteristics you can find out. You can understand the students' capabilities, abilities, and most important is learning style. Learning style. One input which I got was that they want instant. So now, rather, it is true that the habit of learning, habit of reading the books has reduced much percentage. Many times you can say that reading is the casualty. So most of the information they are getting from the internet. Earlier, maybe 10 years back, student used to ask, sir, which book? And then later they started, sir, please relevant paper, relevant pages. No, recently I don't see a student asking any teacher that, sir, please give me reference. Because they have access to internet. They know that we will get better results rather than what teacher is telling. So that means managing such students, we have to have our different teaching styles. We have to change our teaching style. And what type of teaching styles? What type of pedagogy? One technique I share with you that earlier what we used to do, we teach them for engaging them. For students' engagement, we will tell them that, okay, today I have taught you, tomorrow I will listen. What you have learned. So next day, I will ask questions and try to assess whether the student has really understood or he has any views, then I will attend to that. But now the situation is different. Now there is one technique known as flipped classrooms. Flipped. F-L-I-P-P-E-D. Flipped classroom. That if I want to really address to this diversity, then the best method is, instead of sharing incorrect information or less information, what I do, I give them references of what? Video, audios, lessons. तो जब मैं उनको इस तरह के रेफरेंसेस देता हूं और कहते हैं कि कल इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन होगी, इट हैपेंस. तो नेक्स्ट डे आपने कहा कि ये डाइवर्सिटी के ऊपर, these are the available videos, these are the available lectures. You go and study. Next day we will have a discussion, question answer. So next day when students come, then as a teacher, I will involve in that whole exercise, but as an observer. So I say, okay, now you share. कैसे मैनेज करना है? And you will really find that even the points which I have never thought about, they come out with this. So what I am trying to tell you is that the method of teaching is changing, and we must have change. We must change. If we're not changing, then I think the purpose of this sensitization of NEP is not achieved. So pedagogy is very important. जैसे मैंने आपसे शेयर किया flipped classrooms. इसी तरह से, we become an example of readings, example of conducting education. Another very important method is, try to understand the learning style of the students. Learning style of the trainings. So according to learning style, I design my teaching style. Okay. If there is no compatibility between the learning style of the student and presentation style of the teacher, then whatever teacher is teaching, that is only for himself, for own self-satisfaction, not for students' satisfaction. So matching the learning styles. Now the question comes, even I think you will ask this question. कि साहब सभी का लर्निंग स्टाइल अलग अलग है, तो कितने बार आप चेंज करो, है ना? आंसर इज यस, यू आर राइट, पहली बात। दूसरी बात यह है कि मैं अपने लर्निंग स्टाइल को इतना फर्टाइल बनाऊं, इतना फ्लेक्सिबल बताऊं कि मेरे लर्निंग स्टाइल के अंदर सभी इनकॉर्पोरेट हो जाएं। दैट मीन्स a mixture type of style, not very autocratic, not very democratic, but having genuine interest in the students' learning. That's very important. Genuine interest in students' learning. अभी मेरे पास वो ट्रेनिंग के लिए आता है, तो मैं सोचता हूँ इसको ट्रेनिंग कहीं ऐसा ना मेरा बॉस बन जाए, बन भी जाता है, मेरा बॉस बन गया, तो चलो मैं अब अगली बात करते हैं। एनीहाउ, सो आई वाज टॉकिंग कि इतनी डाइवर्सिटी है, उसको मैनेज कैसे करना है, ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज टीचर्स के लिए है। मुझे लगता है कि एक सोल्यूशन और है, लेट्स बी सेंसिटिव, एक्सेप्ट द स्टूडेंट्स एज सच, नो वैल्यू, नो जजमेंटल, जो लेट्स नॉट बी जजमेंटल, क्योंकि जब भी हम जजमेंटल होते हैं वी कमिट ए मिस्टेक, वी एनालिटिकल, तो अंडरस्टैंड डाइवर्सिटी, बी एनालिटिकल विद ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, नॉट सब्जेक्टिविटी। क्योंकि अगर वो कहते हैं ना साबुन का अंधा अंधे को हरा ही हरा नजर आता है, so if I have already biased, I'm watching the world with a colored glasses, तो मुझे दुनिया भी कलर्ड ही दिखे। Therefore, my dear friends, diversity is something which is very, very important. If you can really manage diversity, you will be the best teacher. They will love you and you will be able to deliver. एक बड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट है डाइवर्सिटी को मैनेज करने का, एंड दैट इज योर ओन पर्सनैलिटी, your own personality. If you are a person with good character, positive thinking, having genuine concern for the students, they will accept you, isn't it? So as a role model, I think all of us have to become a role model. Otherwise, whatever is acceptability is concerned, that will be temporary. Temporary basis के ऊपर उसको कुछ प्रभाव आपके ऊपर पड़ गया, but there is no solution to this. Anyhow, I think by this time I have talked to you much on diversity. If you have anything to share, any anecdote, any story, or any of your experience, that will be nice. मैं एक डाइवर्सिटी का आपको सुनाता हूँ। स्टूडेंट्स की वो डिपेंड करता है, हर एक की अपनी अपनी पर्सनालिटी। अभी मेरा एक स्टूडेंट था, उसका क्या था कि जब भी वो क्लास में आना, उसने आई थिंक आई कैन स्टॉप शेयरिंग, वो क्लास में एक तो आएगा नहीं, अगर क्लास में आता है थोड़ी डिस्टरबेंस क्रिएट करेगा, कॉरिडोर में घूमेगा। I used to tell him that if you're not coming, you will suffer, because semester examination में तो कोई इलाज नहीं है, और आपका जब आप इंटरेस्ट नहीं लेते, क्लास में नहीं आते, तो कैसे चले। Anyhow, आए दिन ये खबर मिलती थी कि उसने उसको पीट दिया, उसके साथ बदतमीजी कर दी, एक दो टीचर के साथ भी बदतमीजी कर दी। So I thought I must help this student. How to do that? One way is that, okay, you become cruel to him, you give him punishment, or you oust him out of the class. I talked to him in a very jovial and in a very humble manner. The gentleman, why you are doing this? सर ठीक लगता है, बदतमीजी करना, दादागिरी करना, टीचर से लड़ना अच्छा लगता है. वन डे व्हाट हैपन, उसका वाइवा था, और वाइवा में जो एग्जामिनर थी मुझसे पूछ रही क्वेश्चन, एंड आई वाज इंटरनल एग्जामिनर, आई वाज सिटिंग देयर. शी आस्क्ड सम क्वेश्चंस. ही डिडंट रिप्लाई, ही वाज साइलेंट, इधर उधर देख रहा. मैडम ने कहा कि अरे तुम कैसे हो, तुम इसका मतलब ये इतना बेसिक मैं नहीं जानते. ही वाज साइलेंट. अच्छा मुझे बताइए किस भाषा में मैं आपसे पूछूं, इंग्लिश, हिंदी, पंजाबी, किस भाषा में पूछूं? Then he said, ma'am, any. But anyhow, no reply. So anyhow, she started, she became unhappy with him. Then suddenly I intervened and I told her, ma'am, actually he's a very good boy. But today he has lost his balance, or he has lost his track. बस आज मूड ठीक नहीं है उसका, ये आपसे घबरा रहा है. So anyhow, she said, अच्छा, okay. I told her, no, he is my student and he is sharp. That's all. So he went out, and see the difference in his behavior. He started telling his class fellows, see, sir appreciated me that I am a very good boy, which I am not. When I came out, he touched my feet. Sir, am I really good? I didn't say anything. Next day, he again came to my room. Sir, I could not sleep yesterday. You tell me, because you told that I am good. Am I really good? I told, yes, you are good. I am not telling lie. You are a good boy, but you are not concentrating on studies. You have something in your mind. He said, वो क्या है सर? तो मैंने कहा उसका आंसर इसमें है कि जब तुम बदतमीजी करते हो, नॉन सीरियस होते हो, तो क्या कारण है? कहता ये अच्छा लगता. मैंने कहा क्या अच्छा लगता, क्यों अच्छा लगता? कहते पता नहीं, मुझे अच्छा लगता. मैंने कहा अच्छा ओके, मैं बताऊं क्यों अच्छा लगता है? कहते ये सर, बिकॉज यू वांट टू बी नोटिस्ड. आप चाहते हैं लोग आपको जाने कि ये आदमी, ये जो स्टूडेंट है बड़ा दादा है, यही है ना? थोड़ी देर चुप रहा, कहता जी हाँ जी. कहते चलिए ठीक है, कंटिन्यू विद इट. कहते नहीं सर, आपने बोला मैं अच्छा हूं, मुझे भी लगता है मैं अच्छा हूं, लेकिन क्या करूं? तो मैंने कहा ऐसा करिए, यू बी रेगुलर इन द क्लास, यू बिकम हेल्पिंग टू अदर्स. अभी तो लोग आपसे डरते हैं, तो थोड़ा चेंज करिए. एंड यू वॉन्ट इमेजिन दैट बॉय was totally transformed after 1 year. 2 semesters उसको लगे, and he was transformed. So you see, when we touch them emotionally, टीचर्स की एक बात, एक बड़ी पॉपुलर सेइंग है, व्हाट इज सेड विल बी फॉरगॉटन, वट एवर इज सेड, जो बोला गया है वो भूल जाएगा. वट एवर इज रेड विल ऑल्सो बी फॉरगॉटन, जो पढ़ा है वो भूल जाएगा. बट व्हाट इज फेल्ट विल रिमेन. जो फीलिंग, जो आपने फील किया है वो रहेगा. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि अपने कॉलेज टाइम की, यूनिवर्सिटी टाइम की कोई इंटरेस्टिंग इंसिडेंट बताओ, शेयर विद मी एनी गुड मोमेंट्स ऑफ योर स्टूडेंट लाइफ. which moments you will share. You can do this exercise. I have done a number of times. And what I found, none will talk about the classroom interaction. अभी भी जब ये सेशन खत्म हो जाएगा ना, प्रोग्राम खत्म हो गया, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन है और बहुत सी ऑनलाइन ही इनपुट जो है वो ऑनलाइन ही रह जाती है। लेकिन अगर कोई आपसे पूछे कि इसमें आपने क्या सीखा, कौन सी चीज सीखी, तो जितना नॉलेज है वो भूल जाएगा। बट व्हाट इज रिमेम्बर्ड इज योर पर्सनल इंटरेक्शन, योर इमोशनल एक्सपीरियंस। तो वो एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा आपका, दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट, वो ही रिमेम्बर रहता है। तो जब यूनिवर्सिटी लाइफ की हम बात करेंगे तो याद क्या रहेगा, वही दिन जब हमने बंक मारा था, वही दिन जब हमने पिकनिक मनाई थी। So something which we feel is remembered. So for managing diversity, create an experience. So in classroom, outside the classroom, creating an experience is more important. So these are certain things about management of diversity, that in the classroom, we can come to the level of the students, their learning styles. If I see the student learns more by experience, experimentation, provide him opportunity for experimentation. Some learn more by abstract concepts. तो उस तरह से concepts से हमको सिखाइए. Great challenge indeed. And then best strategy is inclusive teaching. भाई आपकी टीचिंग में सबके लिए कुछ ना कुछ होना चाहिए, ठीक है ना। जब माइंड में सोचेंगे कि मेरी क्लास डाइवर्स है, पहली बात इस चीज को जब मन में रखेंगे, तो नेचुरली आपकी टेक्निक, आपकी इंटरेक्शन, आपकी फीलिंग चेंज होंगी फॉर द होल क्लास। So anyway, I stop here. I already stopped, but then, well, I was expecting some more questions from you.
So, sir, director sir is a little busy in some university task and assignment. So, can we continue for the validatory session, sir?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, yes, okay. I think that will be better. We can save time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So immediately we can conclude as a part of this MMTTC, not wasting much of time. I would now request Gaurav Jadhav to start the university song and banner, and I would request all participants to open their cameras. Savi participant camera open kare. We can conclude this course with the validatory function. As already Professor Satish Patil sir is busy somewhere, so I hope that we can conclude it a little early, as already our respected Yoginder Verma sir has already given us a knowledge of his vast experience. And really it is an honor that Verma sir has also worked for assessing universities in Gulf regions also. I'm right, sir?
Yeah.
So it is really a proud thing that someone from our country is doing an assessment of the foreign universities. Today we are talking about the private universities and foreign universities being established in our country. But you see that here a resource person, a teacher who has been assigned the task of assessing the foreign universities as well. So really it is a proud thing for us that he has been associated with this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University. Also, I hope that all participants have taken something in their bags which they will deliver to their friends, colleagues, you see that National Education Policy 2020, still we are in the earlier stage of National Education Policy 2020. And I hope that the things will get smooth when days will come, especially in understanding the implementation of National Education Policy. I think that in this month we have completed nearly 4 years of NEP 2020. In July 2020, I think it was launched by the Union government. So through this course or through various webinars being organized by the University Grants Commission and Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, we are really fortunate that being this thing, I think that this is the fourth national education policy of our country, but this is the first education policy where the government has undertaken training programs for that particular national education policy, and more stress is given on the Indian knowledge system that was really required in this era, where you can see that yesterday when in one of the valedictory function of Indian knowledge system, there was one resource person. He regularly visited European countries since past 20, 30, 40 years. So how he told that how the yoga, Ayurveda is adopted by the foreigners, and we have forgotten that thing. So this is a real time where our ancient knowledge, our ancient heritage should be forwarded to our young generation, because you see that both the things will be there in future, as the current economic survey also, you can see that both the things will be there. So both the things will be there. Young population will also increase of our country, as well as old population also will increase in the coming days. India will have the youngest population of the globe, as well as there will be increase in the old population. So I would now request Gaurav to start the university song.
आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनावनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनावनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
अभंगाचे ओवीचेही माय बोलीचे माहेर
वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमुचे कागळाचे इतिहासाचे जनावराचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनलेला
नक्षीतच
घटनेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संग्राचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे गीत आमुचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनामनाचे गीत आमुचे जागराचे
So, thanks a lot. So again, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I welcome today's chief guest, Professor Yoginder Singh Verma, sir, who is former Vice Chancellor and Pro Vice Chancellor of Central University of Himachal Pradesh, Dharmshala, to this valedictory session. Also, I welcome all the participants, those who have actively participated in this NEP orientation and sensitization course. The journey of this course was started on 15th July, in which our former Vice Chancellor, Dr. V.M. Pandri Pandey sir, has delivered a talk. After that, Dr. Anil Kulkarni, who is former Principal H.V. Desai College, Pune, he delivered a talk. Then Dr. Preetam H. Shyamukar, ma'am, she is from Department of Mechanical Engineering, College of Engineering, Pune. She delivered a talk. After that, Professor Yoginder Singh Bhisen, sir, who is Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of Vaishyama University, Nasik, he delivered a talk. Then also Dr. Mandhar, sir, who is Head Faculty of Science and Technology at University of Mumbai, he delivered a talk. Then Dr. Ram Bhogle, sir, who is Chairman, Applied Innovation and Technology Group of Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, he delivered a talk. After that, the former Pro Vice Chancellor of SRTMU University, Nanded, Professor Dr. Mrs. Madhuri Deshpande, ma'am, has delivered a talk. And today, in this last day of this course, Professor Yoginder Singh Verma has delivered his talk. So I hope that the objective of this NEP orientation and sensitization course has been achieved by this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. I know that you haven't got 100%. There must be something which the touch to that particular topics were not there. So I hope that in future also you can join this NEP orientation and sensitization course in this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center as well. Also, on regular basis, we are conducting short-term courses or faculty induction program, refresher courses. So all of you are also welcome to those courses as well. And you should make a choice of a Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, when you want to apply for any course. So with these few words, I will not take much time, and I would now request our honorable guest, Professor Yoginder Singh Verma sir, to deliver a valedictory address to all of us.
So thank you very much, Dr. Abdul, and I'm grateful to you for providing this opportunity, and also to the director, Professor Patel. Well, now, because you have interacted with a number of resource persons, and they, I'm sure, talked about NEP 2020, its various aspects. Although the policy is very small, very less pages, but every word or every sentence has a lot of implications. You must be seeing it, and the Ministry of Education is also very sensitive to the aspect that the results which were expected, that new educational policy will be implemented in its entirety, couldn't happen. And one of the reasons is that stakeholders of higher education are not fully sensitized. It's the administration are not really prepared how to go ahead. When it is talking about development of holistic personality, developing all dimensions of personality, and that way having multidisciplinarity, multilingual, and so many other things for which we are not really prepared. Choice-based credit system, more flexibility to the students to adopt for the courses. And our education institutions are not well prepared for that. You need more faculty. And then as far as existing teachers are concerned, their workload, not only workload, but in the teaching also, because the students, are they really ready to accept such a huge change? I think even after 4 years, we are still at the stage when we started. So that's why these courses were started by government. Then let's create, because the teachers are the most important stakeholders. Ultimately, it is they who are to implement. Whether it is about the management of education, because that's one very important area. The managers or the administrators, the principals, the vice chancellors, the chairmen, departments, head of departments, they also require a lot of sensitization. So I think this was one of the objectives, that for accepting the change, understanding the change, and its implementation. It is true that India is the country having the largest number of youth, largest percentage, that more than 50% youth is in the higher education, in the sense that the population, more than 50% are youth. But this dividend, which we say population dividend, which India has got, that will last up to 2040. Thereafter, India will also become old, like any other countries. So how well we can take advantage of this situation? That means when we are talking about holistic development, they should become good entrepreneurs. They should become morally superior. They should become adaptable to the changing situations. They should become productive. So with a very lofty ideals, this education policy has been designed. And it's very strong, that base, as I told you, is Indian ethos. Indian ethos means that the character development, moral development, I think, which is compromised at different level of education. Ultimate purpose of education is, as Plato also agreed, Aristotle also agreed, Vivekananda also agreed. The ultimate purpose of education is to create a happy society. Human beings should become very happy. All these prosperities, whatever you have around, have no meaning until we have a society which is peaceful society. Individuals are happy. They have a good health. Otherwise, the education has no meaning. But we find today that there is more violence, there is more politics. You see many educated youth, they are unemployed because education is not for holistic development, but they think that education should provide them job. Yes, there is one objective, but then we should provide the opportunities for utilizing their talents. But something is lacking in our own education system. As I told you, that policy has many things in it. But then much depends on those who implement. And one very important segment is teachers. And many of you must be heads of departments, must be the coordinators of different activities in the institution. I think you have much role to play. So if the human being becomes strong, with a strong character, with a strong value system, then as far as knowledge and information is concerned, that will not be a problem. Otherwise, one may become an encyclopedia, but not a good human being. So I have already interacted with you and I wish you very good luck. I'm sure, because I'm seeing certain comments, you're very happy that this program was a good learning experience. It has been a good program. So all the best. My congratulations to all of you, and thanks to the center, MMTTC, Dr. Abdul particularly. In fact, I was busy somewhere, but then he is so persuasive and so nice that I couldn't say no. So thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Indeed, your association with the center is more important for us. Your vast experience in the field of higher education has enlightened us always, and you have been a helping hand to this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada Institute. And I hope that when the courses will get offline, we will get an opportunity here to invite you and have a face-to-face interaction with the participants. So I'm really thankful to Professor Yoginder Verma, sir, for sparing his valuable time and concluding this course through his address in the valedictory session as well. Also, my special thanks to our director, Professor Satish Patil, sir, who has been a mentor for all of us when it comes to identifying the resource persons and topics. He has always insisted that the resource person should be on pan-India basis. So I'm really thankful to our respected director and leader of this institution, who is leading from front, and also to my supporting staff as well. So with the permission of our respected resource person, I declare that this valedictory function is over, and I would now request Gaurav to start a national anthem, and I would request all participants to stand up for national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thanks a lot. I would now request Gaurav to stop this cloud meeting.